Liberalism isn't the consequence of wealth, it's the precondition for wealth. You can think about that particularly.
Wealth for who, right? Wealth for who? All animals are created equal and some are more equal than others, right? All liberalism does is make a very small amount of people that are controlling the wealth and the ebb and flow of money. It makes them very wealthy and everybody else not so much.
With regards to such things as the right to private property and the right to the fruits of your own labor. If your society isn't predicated on the idea that the individual is somehow intrinsically worthwhile and...
According to what standard, right? By what standard? Where do said rights come from? If there isn't a higher court of appeal, if there isn't an objective moral authority outside of you and me that we can all appeal to say, thus saith the Lord, right? This is right, this is wrong, this is good, this is bad, this is righteousness, this is wickedness, that we should do our business with equal weights and equal measures and all of these things, and that unjust weights and measures are an abomination. The only way we can make that pronouncement is if unjust weights are an abomination to the Lord, right? There's some higher court of appeal, there's some standard of justice that all will give an account to. If not, your only real court of appeal is pragmatism. This works better than this one, because you can't appeal to anything inherent in man, right?
Sovereign in a manner that's not merely a gift of the state, but something intrinsic to the person. As soon as you have that, you have, at least in principle,
what is intrinsic to the person, right? That would not only govern that individual, but has to stand outside of that individual and apply to all people. This is a problem of the one and the many, right?
Violable right to something approximating private property and to the fruits of your own labor. And without that...
But why? Why should I have a right to the fruits of my labor? Why should I be able to own something? Why can't I just go take something from you? Why is that wrong? Who says? By what standard?
Fundamental presumption, which I think most particularly is a Judeo-Christian biblical presumption.
Absolutely.
The whole capitalist enterprise.
Amen. But with that, in order to appeal to that, you can't appeal to it in part, right? It's an entire worldview. It's an entire system. You can't go to the scriptures a la carte. If you get any of it, you get all of it. If you break some of it, you break all of it, right?
And it's because it's so reliant on trust and honesty as well, for example, to really flourish, and on the right of private property. It's just a non-starter. This is a favorite shibboleth of the West, is that, well, we can have all this economic prosperity, or even more of it, with a centralized top-down control system that's predicated on the idea of equality. But
no, and that's always after the fact. You never get centralization until that's already occurred, right? Because centralization can never create that, right? It's a virus after the fact.
In reality, that never seems to pan out.
Amen.